Saturn and Mars are not creating confusions. Confusions you are creating within yourself by not connecting to your inner core. And the sign of Pisces is demanding you to connect with your inner core so that you make the structures of your life strong, take actions towards what will make you happy, or at least write down in your journal that what is it that will make you happy. So back in conversation with my audience and apprising them of the heavy energies that we had been experiencing and how they were at its peak when the solar eclipse happened in Aries. And Aries sign is also a reminder to tell us we need to start taking steps and initiations towards handling ourselves much better in this world, especially if we are to achieve our happiness or our missions in life. Now, next, the configuration that is happening today, which is the 10th of April, we are going to be witnessing the conjunction of Saturn and Mars. And that too in a sign of Pisces, which is the 12th house of the zodiac wheel. Now, if you actually see, the 12th house is always pointing towards our inner psyche, our inner deeper longings, our inner, whatever is happening within us, what we don't deliberately bring it out in the world, it is only for our own consumptions. Those are those deep set feelings which are with our core, and how we handle it is completely again in our own hands. So the Saturn placed in the Pisces, in the sign of Pisces, is actually a great significator, because it is telling you that if the structures of your own inner core are not addressed or not strengthened, then the chances are that we will remain confused and weak in our lives. And the confusion is all the more escalated because Saturn is in conjunction with Mars. Normally in the astrological scriptures, it was said that Saturn and Mars are enemies. I have a different take on this. I would say no planet is any enemy to each other. But every planet has a message to relay. So when Mars comes in conjunction with Saturn, and that too in the sign of Pisces, basically Mars is fleetingly telling us that it is time to take actions if we are to strengthen our cause. Now Saturn says strengthen your inner cause. Mars says it can't be strengthened on its own. You have to take actions. But because we are dealing with our inner subconscious mind, some individuals find it very confusing that one part of our childhood conditioning, or we are taught that it is very important that we control our anger, we deliberate on our actions, and we should not take actions just to pacify our needs. But the Saturn is saying that the structure needs to be strong. Mars says action needs to be taken. So our own perceptions actually create a war within our own selves, and we tend to get confused. Whereas look at the universal intelligence. The solar eclipse had actually asked us to get back into our shadow in order to gain clarity. The solar eclipse has passed, so the clarity is definitely gained. Right, now the clarity is gained that what is it that we need to do with ourselves to make our inner core strong so that the structure of our life becomes a little strong. So Mars says simple, take action. And that action needn't be aggressive. That action you are taking only towards healing yourself, because Chiron there is a reminder that yes, you are feeling the hurts, but it is time to heal yourself. So Mars says take action, heal your inner core, and come face to face with your fears and your anxieties so that you can do away with this fear and anxieties and be of independent thought. That independence of thought, word and action will only come if you are walking your path and if you're speaking your truth and are brave enough to be independent and deal with the problems of your life without expecting help from other people or outside sources. Because remember, Pisces, your inner psyche, your inner psyche, nobody knows. The outside world doesn't know what you are projecting. It's only in your inner world that you're feeling the turmoil, the feeling the pain, and you're feeling weak and your inability to come out in the world happy. And again, Mars says, well, happiness is a state of mind and happiness can be achieved. So get friendly to your own inner core and start walking your truth, speaking your honesty, and probably understanding what is it that is giving you the pain. Let's say, for example, here, your relationships have made you weak. Be there in your professional life or your personal life, your inability of being able to impress the other people. Okay. Or your inability to make the authorities happy, or the inability that your partners are not happy from you, or probably they do not give you the appreciation that you so seek. You are unhappy in your job. You don't feel like doing that job. Now, here, the combination of Saturn and Mars is actually saying, don't be confused. Understand, is dealing with your life a job or a mission? So understand the difference between a job and a mission. When we actually take up work, it is a mission to make money for our family or for ourselves so that independence is gained. But after getting the job, we don't enjoy that job because the blame game has started that we are not happy because of XYZ circumstances. Understand your needs. That's what Pisces is also saying. Understand your deep needs. Money is important to survive in this world. Money is important to become independent. You can only be independent in thought, word, and action if you're financially independent. So have an attitude of gratitude that you have a job. Yes, I understand you're not happy in the job. You need to take another job. Gain that clarity. What is it that will make you happy? Which job are you qualified, or which job is passion for you, so that you start enjoying the job at hand. And then you start taking your actions. So Saturn and Mars are not creating confusions. Confusions you are creating within yourself by not connecting to your inner core. And the sign of Pisces is demanding you to connect with your inner core so that you make the structures of your life strong, take actions towards what will make you happy, or at least write down in your journal that what is it that will make you happy. Bottom line here is get connected to your inner core, gain your independence by knowing yourself, what are your potentials, what are your talents, and which is the work that you can make a mission for yourself in the life, rather than get stuck by saying it's a job that I am doing. That is sure to going to bring in frustration. So Saturn Mars conjunction in Pisces. It's a very simple meaning for me. The universal intelligence is telling me, get connected to your inner core. Write down in your journal what are your deep longings, or what is it that you're expecting from life. How can you actually better your life, or what is it that will make you happy. For some people it could be that yes, if I'd had a good partner, it will make me happy. Right? But now that is your need. It can't be your mission. Neither can it be your job. If your auras are strong, you will attract like-minded people. And the chances are probably everyone is thinking, because this configuration is actually a message for everyone, every living human being, or even an animal, or even the birds. Anybody who's breathing, this message is for them. And they always say, in fact, our scriptures always tell us that it's so important to relate with the nature. And have you ever observed the birds or the animals? They have a basic instinct. They find their own prey, they fill their own stomachs, they have that premonition that danger is coming, they'll run away from them. The only species, living species on the earth are we human beings who are given a mind to think. So the mind is creating confusions. So feel with your heart, listen to your inner core, is what the Pisces sign is telling you. Build your inner structure strong so that you are able to take actions better in the world with more clarity. You don't require aggressiveness for it. So when you're taking those actions, you are basically gaining happiness for yourself in the bargain. Not forgetting, last but not the least, I also want to remind you all that whenever we speak about Saturn, basic visualization, when we talk about Saturn, we talk about structure, we talk about wealth, we talk about a materialistic value. Remember, when we talk about Saturn, it is also the structure of you as a human being from your inner core. It's something like when we talk about Jupiter, it's belief system. If your belief system is strong, your structure will be strong. It doesn't mean that your belief system is strong, so you will create wealth. Wealth will only be created if you're rich from inside. If your structure is absolutely strong from inside, you will have the resilience and you will utilize your resilience in a much more empowering way, in a much more useful way. It will be constructive. This also reminds me that I must tell you all that most of the people think that Mercury is retrograde, that is creating confusions. No, when Mercury is retrograde, basically it is just telling you to hold on, deliberate on your thoughts, think before you leap. You don't have to take actions now. But the conjunction of Saturn and Mars is telling you where you need to become strong and where you and how you need to take the actions, starting with your own self first. So Mercury is actually giving you a 20-day period to understand yourself. Solar eclipse has cleared many a doubt for many a people if you actually ponder over it. So the initiations that you are taking now are the initiations that will help you further your life, probably fill your life with more happiness and abundance for the next 18 years. So the steps taken now are going to benefit for the next 18 years. So it's so important to understand the true meaning of these planets and take the help of these planets to put your life back on track. So Mercury tells you, hold on, think for a while, think deliberately of what is the requirement of the time. And Saturn and Mars are telling you, since your confusions are clear, and if they're not clear, please make it clear by delving within. Once you look within and see what hurts you, what is it that will make you happy, that happiness will make your structure and inner core strong. That's Saturn for you in Pisces. Mars says you don't have to go on a war path or don't have to be aggressive. You have to take the actions. It's like we swim or we waddle or we play with our hands and feet because we need to remain afloat. That's Mars. That Mars says you have to take the actions if you want to remain afloat in life, if you don't want to drown. So when we are taking actions so that we don't drown, automatically the inner structure starts becoming stronger, and automatically you realize that okay, XYZ things are problematic for me. I cannot control the people because everybody is thinking in the same way. So rather than getting into arguments and reaching no conclusions, control your mind and get set to being an architect of your own fate. I realized that my interactions with my clients is very important. Though I've tried my best to interact, but since we have a lot of time and space between us, but the technology has made it, this is the age of Aquarius, so the technology has made us easier that we can meet each other virtually. But my wishing and my longing, these are my manifestations. And this is what makes me happy when I'm able to clarify doubts of the people or of my listeners who have various questions in their mind. And I always welcome that for the simple reason because it connects me more closer to you all, that's one. And second, it also gives me a different point of view. And they say life is all about learnings. Nobody is a master as such. We all learn from each other. My endeavor is to teach as much as my endeavor to learn from you. Actually, my experience tells me that the call of the hour is to keep ourselves mentally and physically healthy. Right? So, if we can build and replenish our support system, be it in relationships, finances, work areas, anything that helps us in sustaining a happy life. So basically it is like controlling our own mind, right? So changing ourselves instead of trying to change the other people or our circumstances are actually the keys that help us create our own fortunes and help us also be happy in this ever so stressful world, which actually we call the process of life. So let's get together and make the process of life easier for us and more sustainable. Stay blessed.